Hello everybody. As part of this month's newsletter, I've recorded another video for you to show you the current market action that has occurred over the last month and give you an update on one of my current trades. Now before I get started, I just need to remind you that I'm not licensed to provide any personal investment advice. This video and all the charts and trades I share are all for illustrative purposes only, and I'm just showing you how I view the current market and sharing this with you. Now on the screen here is a chart of the ASX 200. Now when we last left the ASX 200, my last newsletter, it was trading around this point. The ASX 200 had started to trade in a downward channel and it was at the top of that area. Now it fell back, but it has managed to break through that channel line and is currently churning sideways. So it started to build up some support level around this level here, where it's touched a couple of times. But it's still resisting this point here, where it has had support in the past, where it's touched, and as you can see, touched many times before its big breakthrough. And now it's getting resistance at this point, and is not able to push above it. So until it can push above that zone, the market really hasn't started to become healthy. And to see a better picture of this, let's have a look at the weekly chart. So I'm just going over to the weekly chart of the ASX 200 now. And one of the ways that I always look at the charts is if that moving average line is falling and the share price is below it, it's unhealthy. If it's rising and the share price is above it, it's healthy. If the share price is moving above and below the moving average line, then it's churning sideways. And that's what it had been doing for quite some time, churning sideways. And it's been churning sideways from about mid-2009, dipping with new lows, and right up until mid-2011, where it's moved to new lows again. And it has not been able to get past this 5,000 point for a long period of time. But recently it started to make new lows, moving beyond these lows over here. And this moving average line started to fall, and the share price has been trending below it. At the moment, it is still trending below that 30-week moving average line, and it's just touching it now. So if it continues to move lower now and continues to stay below that line, then this market is still unhealthy. If, however, it can push through and start to move back above this resistance zone that you saw in the daily chart, and you can see clearly in this weekly chart, and the number of times it has had support at this level, if it can push back beyond there, then it is becoming healthy again. So time will tell us what direction it's going to continue going in, because it's at the point now where it's just touching that moving average line. But it's got a lot of resistance it has to move beyond for it to become healthy again. So now let's go and have a look at the US markets and see how they've been performing over the last month as well. And on the screen here, I have a chart of the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 has been churning sideways and getting support around this 1100 mark for the last couple of months. It was also getting resistance in our last newsletter at this point here. But lo and behold, it's managed to push through the resistance point, and it's now been bouncing around this resistance level. So it's actually forming a little bit of a small triangle pattern at the moment, and it's going to be interesting to see if it now breaks up and starts making some new highs again. And let's just have a look at the weekly chart. Now, looking at the moving average like we did on the last chart, when that moving average line is rising, the share price is above it, it's healthy. Now, the US markets became very unhealthy recently mid this year and started to trend lower. But lo and behold, they've gotten back above this long-term moving average line and is trading above it. So if the market can hold this support area here and continue to trade above it, then that's a really good sign. If it doesn't, then that's an unhealthy sign for it. It's still got other points it's got to move beyond above, and if I zoom out, you'll see that this line here was support for the index some time ago. So that support area here became resistance for the index just recently, and then it failed and moved to new lows. So we've really got some interesting patterns building up with support and resistance points that have occurred at historic levels in the past that continue to cause problems with the activity of the index now. And you saw that in the ASX 200 chart as well. But the interesting thing is that the American market has moved higher, but yet the Australian market has not. And that's happened in the past too. We had the Australian market in a long-term sideways trend for a much longer period of time than the US market. So they don't always do the same thing at the same time. Now, last newsletter, I also shared a trade with you. And here is the chart of this trade now. So as you know from my last newsletter video, I entered into this share on the 6th of October at $12.08. Every time you see a blue arrow, that means if I had run my market scan on that day, and when I talk about running my market scan, this is MetaStock. So all I have to do is hit the Explorer, select my scan, hit Explore, and the scan runs for me. And I'm just looking at shares that come up in the report that day, and these are the charts that I'm reviewing. So every time you see a blue arrow, that means when I ran the scan on that day, this share appeared in that report. So the share was first alerted to my attention when it had this nice up candle here, moving above a resistance area. I saw it that evening when I ran my scan, and I put an order into the market that if it broke above $12 to get me in. And the next day it moved beyond $12, and I was entered into the market earlier into that day. Now the share continued much higher, and it's fallen back a little bit, and it's moved higher again. And so has my stop loss. So every time the share makes a new higher close, my trailing stop loss moves higher. Now at present, it's getting a nice support around this level here, just above $13. So it's tested it many times, and my stop loss is just sitting below that level now. So if it doesn't continue to hold above $13, I will be taken out of the trade. At the moment, it's not making lower lows, but it is starting to churn sideways. And if it doesn't start to make new highs and it does collapse below this support area, I will be taken out of the trade. But if it does move to new highs, then my trailing stop loss will continue to move higher and I will stay in this trade. So I have had this trade open for over a month now, but this trade is currently in profit. So I'm happy to stay in this trade and let the market tell me what's going on. My stop loss will either take me out or it will move higher and my stop loss will continue to move up. And we'll see what happens, and I'll share more with you in the next newsletter. And I have a couple of specials I'd like to share with you. So at Christmas just around the corner, I'm having a book sale. My publisher contacted me just recently and offered me to be able to buy my books at a very special discount because they want to move a lot of their stock out of their warehouse. So I'm able to pass this discount on to you. So you'll save $10 by buying my book Smart Trading Plans. Now, this book was listed as one of the top 10 best-selling finance books by Money Magazine in 2010. And it's a step-by-step guide to assist you in developing a trading plan. Plus, it comes with free bonuses. So you get a free trading plan template and a position sizing calculator with the book that you can download after you purchase it. So go online, go to my shop webpage, and you can buy it there for $22.95 and for free postage within Australia until the end of December. If you know anyone that's interested in trading, it would make an excellent Christmas present as well. If you are overseas, there's just an additional extra cost for postage. Plus the book Miss Me in Air. I'm also able to pass a $10 discount on this book, and you can pick up your copy for $19.95 and free postage within Australia also. I'm included in Chapter 12, and you can read all about my story about how I've created my wealth through share and property investing. It's a fantastic book with great stories about 16 Aussie girls, so grab your copy now from my website. So until next newsletter, keep watching, analysing and updating your trading plan if needed. The market is going to be your biggest learning experience, but you need to have that concise trading plan that is going to tell you what to do in all markets. And don't forget, if you need help, visit my website www.smarttrading.com.au, download your free report and have a good look around. I have plenty of information on here, and you can also learn all about my trading systems and strategies through a course that I have called the Smart Trading Plan and System Development course. And now's your opportunity to invest in this course, because next year the price of this course will be rising. so you can lock in a payment plan for this course now. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My contact details are included on the Contact Us page on my website. And I look forward to sharing with you more in my next newsletter. Goodbye for now.